Hello everybody, Spaceboy99 here, back at it with another banger of a video. And I just want to be honest and tell you guys I don't really care about this channel until I have a substantial amount of volume or traffic actually coming at an ongoing repeat basis where I have a substantial viewership base who have actually come to expect things from me. If I just don't care, but I'm just gonna keep doing this. So let's jump into this New York Times article. Men, where have you gone? I tried getting the access to the New York Times article. Sorry, I'm not gonna pay for a subscription. So I just found online this site, link in the low bar. It says ChatGPT summary of the article. Here are the key points from Rachel Drucker's Modern Love essay. Men, where have you gone? Please come back. Published June 20th, 2025, based on the Reddit thread summary. I'll just comment on this. A cultural shift in male presence. Many men have withdrawn from vulnerability and intimacy, not through aggression, but through indifference. They are no longer fully present on dates or in connections. Well, first of all, what's the age of the women who are concerned? Because I doubt little 18, 19-year-old hotties really have this problem of men withdrawing from them. This is probably just an old lady who's probably a spinster, an old hag, or who would in traditional times be considered just out of the market, but now she's still. Now what's all this stuff about being fully present? Oh, come on, don't give me this Eckhart Tolle mindfulness crap. Lady, go to a meditation retreat if you want presence. But don't complain about the men, okay? They're just not so into you. And it doesn't sound to me like you really want them, their consciousness or something, to be present. You're just upset that they're not so interested in blowing your back out. Alright. From real connections to directionless orbiting. The author laments on the rise of situationships, casual emoji check-ins, and flirtation without real commitment or movement forward, an abdication of emotional ownership. Well, lady, it's up to him. Like, how old are you again? I mean, if an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, nice-looking female wants to get married, she can vet men who are gonna marry her. Yeah, come on, lady. Abdication of emotional ownership. I'm not really sure what that means. Again, it's Chat GPT though, so I'm not quoting the article. I mean, I know what it means. I mean, technically, but how this applies, abdication of emotional ownership. I mean, lady, they're not. They're just not into you. They don't love you. Why should they? Explain why they should love you. Why? Number 3, emotional retreat and convenience culture. Men increasingly prefer curated, frictionless digital experiences, scrolling, filters, passive engagement, over the messy process of genuine human connection. Well, lady, what about all those OnlyFans models who do that willingly? What about all those men who swipe and swipe and swipe and they do not get any action? So what's this about frictionless digital experiences? That's a lot of thumb swiping. I'm not sure which finger they use. I don't do that, but lady, that's a lot of swiping. Now come on. The messy process of genuine human connection. Most of these guys can't get dates and they know it. Okay? The erosion of intimacy rituals, shared rituals like lingering over. Oh, this is disgusting. Lady, you want this? Lingering over breakfast after a one-night stand? Lady, you should be an 18 to 22-year-old virgin who could join the convent if she's not married by the time she's 25, but here you are somewhere in your 40s and 50s wanting a man to linger over breakfast after a one night stand. Like, by definition, you're saying this is a one time thing. Lady, I don't even like one night stands. I mean, I'm married, but I never actually, well, I can't say I never, well, I can't say that I was never not glad that that was it, but at least initially I wanted something. I always wanted a relationship. I mean, I think most men are like that. Not always, but not all men, but lady, if you want a one night stand, if you want a lingering over breakfast after a one night stand, and the man's conscious presence, I think that's a conflict. 5. A call for rediscovering presence. Oh, what's this presence thing? The author invites men to return with authenticity and willingness, not perfection, highlighting the need for breath, eye contact, emotional presence, and simply being with each other. Lady, if you were married back in the day when you were an 18 to 22-year-old virgin who had your life to give, you could have had that. Standout quotes from the essay. The way many men had quietly withdrawn from intimacy and vulnerability, not with violence or resistance, but with indifference. What I won't entertain is directionless orbiting. We call it a situationship, but mostly it's avoidance. Well, why are they avoiding you? Think about that, lady. What do you have to offer? Who do they not avoid? And what are the kind of men who all the women are paying attention to? In essence, Drucker explores how male emotional absence, driven by digital convenience and cultural burnout, is reshaping romantic rituals. Lady, there was never any romantic ritual, I don't think, for the old hags. You just gave up and didn't expect anything. You were a spinster. You didn't have one night stands anymore, unless you were, unless somebody just decided to throw you some D. She believes women continue to show up, waiting for men to show up with intention, and her plea is simple. Come back, not with fireworks, but with your whole beautiful, imperfect heart. Lady, you don't deserve a dude's heart. Honestly, I keep saying this, lady, you a spinster. You don't. Like, look, if you had something to offer up for the next 30 years, at least, that was good, if you had some of that nice pie when you're young and beautiful and you're willing to give your life to a man, because all you gotta do is get married and he's just gonna take care. Lady, that was the deal. What I'm trying to say is here, people, try not to slip into too much of an accent here, but I'm getting going. Women have always had the concept of insert man here. The ladies don't know how to do that many anymore, but what insert man here means is that women take full advantage of their power in the dating market and their matriarchal web, that their connections that branch out like mycelium across the whole society, where they have the grapevine, they have their networks, they have everything. Women had social networking long before the internet social networking. Women get together, they trickle out to porches and gossip. They talk about who's with who, or at least they did. See, and So women are kind of like the egg that ties together the whole cake, right? And so insert man here means that the women have all this control, right? They've got this network and they just have to secure a man when they can. That doesn't mean they're swiping away, they fake a few glances at some men and then they finally, like they really are deciding something. And then they all swipe on the tall man, 6 figures, or maybe not even that. It's just tall. They all want the tall man. They all swipe on the tall man, right? And women were never supposed to do that because just swiping right on the tall man doesn't mean insert man here. Insert man here means that he has a role to fill in society. See, women never married men. I'll tell you what, women married marriage. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Women and babies were from God. You couldn't terminate the pregnancy. That's what I'm trying to say. You couldn't terminate the pregnancy. Contraception was not easily available. So you literally and physically inserted the man into your life if you were a woman. And you had to. And there might not be enough tall men to go around to tickle your fancy. And you might not be able to get one if you wanted one. You just have to, other women around, whatever, would set you up. Like how I went to the prom, for example. There was just somebody over at another lunch table. Wanted to go to the prom, so did I. So people started talking back and forth. Next thing you know, you're going to the prom. I didn't have any real interest in the girl. Not really, but hey, you go to the prom. Because it's like there's a pollinator. That's the thing, man. I should have led this video with. It's like there's a pollinator system in society that we've lost in the culture. See, the culture used to say that women married marriage through the man. It's explicitly it was all, do you take him to be your husband? But look, if you look at the setup, if you look at the ceremony and everything, it's like that's not because you're marrying him. It can't be. The whole cultural thing going on, all the implicit nature of the whole thing. You are not explicitly marrying him, lady. You are marrying marriage. You're marrying God. You're not gonna bear his children. I mean, come on. What kind of lady really wants to bear some dude's children? They're from God. You marry marriage and you have God's kids together. Okay? Babies are from God. You don't. Babies are their existence is not rightfully dependent on the woman to want the kid. No, they're from God, and that's why you marry marriage. There are very few men out there who are ever gonna get a woman to want to marry them. You don't do that unless you're like Jeff Bezos or something, and that's just plain gross. I still don't know why he went for Laura Sanchez as a fixer-upper when he could just... Man, I don't get it, but the thing is, women don't marry men. They don't. And if unless you're like Jeff Bezos, and then in that case it's like, man, you just You're just being a simp. You're being a fool, man. Jeff Bezos is a fool. He's just a simp. You know, Laura Sanchez marries him after she was with somebody else. Got my cat there. Sorry about that. Uh, Women marry marriage, and the men are inserted. That's it. Men are inserted into marriage. She marries marriage through you as the man, and you have God's babies. Okay, and one night stands are not bonding intimacy over after one night stands, lady. You don't. Men do not owe you that. They don't. I hope you know that, but I don't think you really do, lady. Men do not owe you vulnerability and intimacy. The contract between men and women always was a marriage, and and it's like there were pollinator systems in the society that would set men and women up, so you didn't have to choose. You didn't have to find and choose men, so you would never be asking, where have the men gone, right? There would be implicit pollinator systems working under the radar, behind the scenes, hooking, I don't want to say hooking, that's nasty now, setting people up. And by the time you're an old hag, you would have been, there were some old spinsters, but typically you would have fallen to and been served by some kind of pollinator system that served you up some man to insert. And that's what you inserted him into your life, is what I mean. I'm not trying to be nasty, you know. I'm not trying to be sexually explicit, but, you know, but typically, I mean, women, you had to insert the man into your life. And you had to be willing to do that long term, and you had to need him. You had to need, there was a reason why that man was filling a role in your life. You couldn't say, I don't need no man, and then expect to get married. You had to have a reason to insert that man. You know? And you couldn't just say, I'm not happy, and then not be married anymore. And then have that as the cause for no fault divorce. Because you didn't marry him, you married marriage. I mean, there were some reasons why you could, you know, file for divorce, but by and large, lady, you didn't marry him anyway. You married marriage, and you just inserted him into your life, and everybody knew that, and it just wouldn't be. Everybody knew it just wouldn't be fair if every married man had to perpetually continue making a woman happy, because they can't. Not everybody can, but it's better for the whole if they just stay, because that's the deal. That's the deal. That's what the vows were, you know. So, guys, if I had a viewership base who I knew, this is a chicken and an egg catch-22 deal. YouTube's not worth the effort, man. If you don't have a viewership base, I mean, you know, any comment you get or anything, you might as well just say thanks for watching, because that's about it, man. There's no back and forth or anything here. It's just, look, if you like it, thanks for watching. without a viewership base that you know is coming back expecting something from you. This is kind of silly, but I just keep doing it anyway. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers.